Alzheimer's is a disease that affects many people throughout our country, and especially right here in Polk County, and no one is less affected than the caregivers of the people who have the disease. And to show compassion for those people and to give them just a little break out of their normal routines, we're excited to talk about today something called Caregivers Day Out at Bok Tower Gardens, which is going to take place on March 29th from 4 to 8:30 p.m. And we're very excited today to have with us Stefanie Thompson, who is the Senior Program Specialist for the Alzheimer Association of Florida for the Gulf Coast chapter. We also have with us today Jason Penrod, Elder Law Attorney at Family Elder Law. And finally, we have Emily Nettnin Earle, the Development Manager at Bok Tower Gardens with us.
Thank you.
So, obviously, this event on March 29th that takes place in the early evening into the night is all about just giving a little peace and serenity to the caregivers of someone with Alzheimer's. I guess we'll start with you, Emily. Just talk a little bit about what events you guys have scheduled and kind of what the course of the day looks like.
Well, we've done this activity with the Gulf Coast Alzheimer's Association for the past 3 years. This year is something a little different. We're going to do it in the evening instead of the morning, hopefully to allow some caregivers who work during the day to be able to join us, as well as some of our snowbird caregivers who we usually do this event in May. Which allows them to come and participate. We look forward to doing this every year. It's one of Bok Tower Gardens' community service projects, and we enjoy having this opportunity to share with the caregivers the beauty of the gardens, the amazing carillon that sings. And this year, our event is actually tied onto a carillon concert so that our caregivers can actually see what we do at Bok Tower Gardens.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's such a grand finale. I mean, it just wraps up what looks like it'll be just a terrific event. I mean, just talk a little bit about how it starts off. It starts off with a walk and then goes into a dinner portion, correct? Absolutely.
We have our garden guides who are our volunteers, with which we have over 400 volunteers at Bok Tower Gardens. But we have selected 4 people who will give garden walks to our guests, and it goes every 10 minutes. They'll get a nice kind of tour of what the beautiful Olmsted Gardens look like, and then they'll come back to the Magnolia Room for an activity which the Alzheimer's Association has already planned for them. And then at 6 o'clock we have dinner, and I believe the dinner is sponsored by Mr. Penrod's company. And then we also will have the carillionaire, our new carillionaire who just joined us in October. He'll actually do a presentation on the carillon before he plays for the caregivers. And it's just a great opportunity for them to just chat and talk to each other and kind of de-stress and realize that they're not the only ones out there. And I think that's what's wonderful about it. So at 7:30, both caregivers and if there's any of the clients there will move out to the gardens and actually be able to hear the carillon concert that night.
So Stefanie, what is it about the partnership with Bok Tower Gardens that is just so great for your organization and the Alzheimer's Association to do an event like this?
Well, we try to have a Caregivers Day Out once a year, and it's kind of a struggle for me to find a location because there's so many caregivers that we help. Just to give you an idea, in Polk County, there's about 15,000 family caregivers that care for a loved one with Alzheimer's disease or related dementia. So that number is about like 1 in 40. There's about 1 in 40 people with Alzheimer's disease in our county. Do we service all those people? I don't think so. Our annual caregiver events, we have about 75 to 100 people show up, but that still is a large number. So we have to have a facility that can handle that amount. And Bok Towers is just, first of all, the gardens is just beautiful. And this event is all about caregiver stress and releasing that stress and giving them a time where they can be less burdened. But also they have a wonderful room that's going to be able to house it and hold all these people. And also we did look for partnerships in order to help supplement and pay for some of the food, because feeding 75 people can be quite costly. And Jason Penrod has come forward. This is his 3rd year doing it. He's with Family Elder Law, and they are sponsoring the food along with SunTrust Bank. So we're just really blessed to have those partnerships so that we can have a really nice, wonderful meal.
Right. Well, and Jason, really I mean, what is it? Obviously, it seems like this ties right in with your law firm and probably what it stands for. So talk about how this is just a great relationship for you to have and to pass off to some of the caregivers.
Sure. Well, I was really privileged and honored when Stefanie approached me about helping out a couple years ago because as an elder law attorney, I definitely understand what it's like for certain families that have people afflicted by Alzheimer's. And I have caregivers in my office every day that are caring for people, whether it's a spouse that has Alzheimer's or maybe an adult parent or adult child caring for the parent. And a lot of these people don't, they give so much of themselves that there isn't ever really an opportunity for them to care for themselves. And this day out is really a celebration of A, their sacrifice for caring for others, and B, a moment to really recognize they need to take care of themselves, like take a day out, you know, and because as I often tell people, if you don't take care of yourself and you're taking care of somebody else, we get into what we call double trouble, you know, so it's important, even though it's counterintuitive, they're so used to taking care of other people that they really need to pay attention to taking care of their own health, their own well-being.
Well, yeah, for people who are listening, Emily, where can they sign up? What are some of the details for getting registered for this event so they can have that little breath of air and kind of a nice release for a day?
Absolutely. They can contact the Gulf Coast Alzheimer's Association, and they can contact Stefanie. I believe your email address is Stefanie. No, what is it?
It's Thompson S at alzflgolf.org.
Okay, and is there a phone number we can reach you at?
Yes, it's 863-292-9210 is our local office number.
Okay, great. And then with Bok Tower, if someone called there and had information, do you have someone available to answer questions?
Yeah, they can absolutely call Bok Tower Gardens or go on our website, and they'll be directed to me, and then I'd be happy to give them the information that's Stefanie's information to get a hold of her.
Yeah. What is it about the gardens that just allows people to relax? It's almost like a natural setting that is away from everything. I guess how do you feel like it's just the perfect place for something like this?
Well, absolutely. It's a wonderful gardens to come and just wander and get lost in. Edward Bok, it'll be 85 years in October, dedicated this to the American public, the American people, and his motto is make you the world a bit better or more beautiful because you have lived in it. And that was a phrase that his grandmother told him, and that is really, we embrace that and we take that to heart, and we hope that, you know, it's great that the Gulf Coast Alzheimer's caregivers can come, but we really want everybody to come and embrace the serenity and beauty of the gardens and the Carillon.
Absolutely. Is there anything else, Stefanie, that you would like to talk about in terms of the Alzheimer's Association and what you guys are doing locally?
Oh, sure, yeah. If there's a caregiver in need, they could also call our office. If this is like an event that they are interested in but they just can't get away, they can certainly call us, and we do free care consultations over the phone. We can talk to them. So I also would like to give them our 1-800 number in case it's after hours. They could call our 1-800 number and talk to even a licensed social worker. That number is 1-800-272-3900, and that's our 24-hour helpline number. Also, I wanted to mention that sometimes caregivers just can't get away. They don't have that option, so we do have some respite that we can offer for the day. If a caregiver wants to come but is really worried and concerned about their loved one, we could arrange that for them, so they just call our office so we could do that. Or I have some caregivers that are actually bringing their loved ones with them too, so that's another option. If a caregiver wants to have a nice day with their loved one with dementia, that's fine as well.
Also with Family Elder Law, I know the Arts Ensemble Education Foundation and SunTrust are also sponsors of this great event. Jason, what are some other things people who are listening might be able to do to help out with the event if they'd like?
Sure. Well, we're just trying to make the evening the most special evening we can for these folks. Like, this is their night out. So if local businesses wanted to offer something that could be a gift to these people. In the past, we've had people donate massages from local masseuses and things like that. Anything that people would be willing to provide would be a blessing to these people.
Well, thank you all for being here today. Obviously, this trio is making a lot of things happen, and it's exciting to know what you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So on March 29th, beginning at 4 p.m., Bok Tower Gardens will be taken over by the caregivers of these Alzheimer's patients, and some of their loved ones will also attend with them. If you would like more information on that event, please contact either Bok Tower Gardens, or you can contact Stefanie with the Alzheimer's Association at 863-292-9210.